Alright, so last week I put my picks out on Twitter. There was no video. But week two, I ended up going 15-1 and ended up losing a perfect week because of the damn Saints against the Raiders on Monday Night Football. But yeah, last week was kind of a train wreck trying to predict things. In my year to date record, I'm not going to include ties because that's dumb. And last week I went 8-7-1. Uh, Not as good as the week two when I went 15-1. But yeah, on the season I'm 34-13. Last week I didn't get one or lose one because the Eagles and the Bengals ended up tying. But yeah, like I said, not going to include the tie in the year to date just because I'm not going to. All right, let's get into week four. So I haven't actually looked over the schedule for this week. I'm just kind of winging it. So yeah, let's do this. All right, Thursday night football. So Monday night football, we had Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes. 3 days later, we get Sam Darnold and Brett Rippon. And as a Broncos fan, it's easy to say that the Jets are probably the least talented team in the league because you see the jersey in the background, so I obviously don't want to admit that. But I think the Giants are, if you saw my video the other day, I think the Giants are the least talented team in the league. The Jets are not far behind at all, and Adam Gase just makes them not a good football team. I think Greg Williams should actually be the head coach. But yeah, um, sometimes bad teams can make for an amazing game, and that could happen. The Hospital Broncos versus the Jets is not going to be a good game on Thursday night. I predict it's just going to be a lot of ugly football. But Adam Gase, when he plays against us, because he was our offensive coordinator in 2013 and 2014 with Manning. And I know John Elway just completely dissed him when other teams were inquiring about him as a head coach. And yeah, so I'm going to go with the Jets here just because of the fact that whenever we play Adam Gase, he pretends like it's his Super Bowl. So yeah, whatever. The Jaguars against the Bengals. I'm going to go with the Jaguars here. If there's one thing I've learned, you never count out Gardner Minshew and you never count out James Robinson. And I think Joe Burrow is playing about as well as you could ask for a 2020 first overall pick. No offseason, no preseason, or limited offseason, not no offseason. What am I saying? But yeah, I'm not gonna count out the mustache. The Steelers against the Titans. There is a very realistic chance that this could not end up mattering this week, and that I don't know that the game just isn't played. I know they've talked about rescheduling it to Monday night or Tuesday night, but with the Titans having four Corona cases, and I don't think it's just going to stop there because if any of them have been near their teammates that have Corona, they're likely not going to know until Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. So, yeah, um, but I'm just going to assume that this game will be played because the latest we're hearing is that it's going to be either Monday or Tuesday night. So, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pick the Steelers. Yeah, the Steelers look legit. I know that the Titans have a really good offense. They have a really good team so far, but their defense looks absolutely miserable. Um, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pick the Steelers just because I think the Steelers' offense will be way too much for the Titans' defense to handle, which isn't a great unit. I mean, their offense is great, but their defense isn't a great unit. New England and Kansas City. I'm actually pretty hyped for this game. Sadly, as a Broncos fan, I must go with the Chiefs. The Chiefs are the best team in the league right now. They proved that Monday night by beating up on Lamar Jackson. Buffalo against the Raiders. I'm going to go with Buffalo, and here's why. I am all in on Josh Allen's, breakout campaign this year. I'm all in on Newton's as well. I should have mentioned that when I was talking about New England and Kansas City. But yeah, I'm all in on Buffalo. And they've played some garbage defenses these first 3 weeks, and they still almost lost to the Rams. But you know what? Their NFL defense is still, and if he beats up on three terrible defenses back to back to back weeks, what's to say he can't do it four in a row? So yeah, I'm going with the Buffalo Bills right here. Although the Bills defense is very concerning because there's no excuse for blowing a 28-3 lead against the Rams. That's just not, especially when you consider like how good the Bills defense was last year. Week 2, they almost blew it against Fitzmagic. Like I don't know how you. Okay, I'm just gonna stop right there. I'm gonna go with the Bills before I start doubting myself. The Colts and the Bears. I'm going with the Colts here. The Bears are not a good team, despite being 3-0. They were very fortunate that they had Nick Foles to back up Trubisky and that they're playing the Falcons defense. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Colts just because even though they've beat up on the Vikings and, they beat up on the Jets last week as well, I don't think the Bears are very good, to be quite frank. I still think the Colts are the much better team, even though they lost to the Jaguars week 1. Maybe big. No. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I was gonna say big game from Jonathan Taylor, but I've thought that he's just going to have like a monster game and put up 150 these past few weeks, and he's gotten the volume, but his vision still needs work. Like he reminds me a lot of 2019 Miles Sanders, where yeah, you could see it, but he just still needs a little bit more. I think towards the end of the year, we're about to see what the Colts envisioned Jonathan Taylor would be when they drafted him 42nd overall in this year's draft, and he's going to look more and more like the guy who set the record for rushing yards within the first 3 years of his college career. The Chargers and the Buccaneers. So the Chargers are basically a hospital right now, and the Buccaneers look like a pretty good football team. Uh, I had the privilege of watching them beat up on my team this past Sunday. So yeah, I think the Buccaneers are going to win. The Chargers lost to Carolina. Not a hard choice. The Browns and the Cowboys. I think Dallas is probably the best 1-2 team right now, other than the Saints. Yeah, I still think the Saints are better. But yeah, I think I'm going to pick the Cowboys here just because Cleveland's defense still isn't a great unit, and also it's kind of annoying how this Cowboys Giants thing is kind of bleeding over. Same with the Buccaneers card. Oh, whatever. Yeah, I still don't think Cleveland's defense is all that great, and Dallas's offense looks absolutely phenomenal. The Browns' running game could end up having a very, very, very good day because the Cowboys D line, or no, not the Cowboys D line, their D line's a-okay, but the rest of their defense is absolutely pathetic. Yeah, I'm still gonna pick the Cowboys in a shootout. Maybe it's not going to be anything like it was week 2. Like I was about to say, maybe it could be reminiscent of what we saw with them and the Falcons, but I don't think that's going to happen. Seahawks and Dolphins. This is not a hard choice at all. Russell Wilson looks like, man, it's neck and neck between him and Mahomes for the best player on the planet. Because when you think about Seattle, like these past few years, they just kept running and running and running. They kept force feeding the ball into terrible running backs' hands. And I know Chris Carson's a good running back, but even before that, they just kept running and running and running. It makes no sense to run the ball 40 times a game when Russell Wilson's your quarterback. Yeah, I don't see this as a hard decision. I think Seattle is going to absolutely wipe the floor with Miami. Baltimore and the football team. Baltimore, this is not a hard choice at all. Baltimore is going to be hungry coming off a loss, and the battle of DMV goes to the Ravens. Minnesota and Houston. Uh, I don't know what to say about this game. I'm going to pick the Vikings just because I believe that the Vikings are better coached. I think Bill O'Brien's an absolute nut job. I don't think Mike Zimmer's doing a fantastic job either, but the good thing about the Vikings playing the Titans is that Justin Jefferson certainly won't have corona because there was nobody within 6 feet of him all day Sunday. I'm so funny. Saints Lions. I'm going with the Saints. Once again, I don't see this as a very hard decision. Yeah, the Lions have a game every season or two, or at least they've had a game with Matt Patricia that makes you go, "Oh, he might not be that bad of a coach." Then next week they just come out, get blown out, and they suck again, and remind us why Patricia's probably the second worst coach in the league, only other than Adam Gase himself. Arizona and Carolina. I'm going with Arizona here. Even though Carolina just beat the Chargers and Teddy Bridgewater looked pretty decent doing so, Arizona's just too good of a team this year. Kyler Murray is having the breakout that we all expected, maybe even a little more. Giants and Rams. I'm not even going to go over this one. This is Rams all day. Eagles and Hospital 49ers. I would go with the 49ers pretty easily here because the Eagles look horrible. Or actually, calling them horrible is a compliment and being pretty generous, to be honest. But the 49ers are starting Nick Mullins as their quarterback. And even though they just blew out the Giants with Nick Mullins as their quarterback last week, it's the Giants. Will they do that to another NFC East team? I think they do just because the Eagles look so bad. Now, maybe if the Eagles can prove me wrong, good for them. And you remember what happened week 4 last year when the Eagles didn't look all that great. The Packers looked amazing, and then the Eagles went into Green Bay and just ran all over them. So, yeah, that could happen again, but 49ers it is for me. And then the other Monday Night Football game, get that out of the way, besides potentially Steelers-Titans, is Falcons-Packers. I'm going to go with the Packers here just because Atlanta's defense is so bad, man. They need to get rid of their coach ASAP. They still believe they can have Legion of Boom 2.0. That's just not going to happen with Dan Quinn as their coach. I mean, the Falcons' offense is amazing. Calvin Ridley is just having a phenomenal year. But, yeah, they're just not going to win this football game. Even if they have a massive lead, they are going to blow it no matter what. That's just how it is. So to sum up, the toilet bowl goes to the Jets. Sunday's games: Jaguars, Steelers, Chiefs, Bills, Colts, Buccaneers, Cowboys, Seahawks, Ravens, Vikings. Then we got the Saints, the Cardinals, the Rams, the 49ers, and the Packers. Okay, that is going to do it for the video. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're not already. Follow me on Twitter. Link is in the description below. Anyways, guys, have a good day, and peace out.
I can never ever find the right words, and there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you're the right girl, so I can only say that it feels right. It feels right, it feels right. Yeah, I can only say that it feels right.